you are in a private university, you cannot access NELFUND. Now, if you are just getting admitted, all you need is your admission letter.
So why should a student apply for NELFUND?
NELFUND has made education seamless. 20,000 naira upkeep every month.
Wow, that's much.
The repayment plan is 2 years after NYS. But they have a duty, they may invoke the law on the students. You have a job before you start paying. Alright? It may involve jail term.
Welcome to COOU podcast, and this is brought to you from the COOU tube of the COOU University Public Relations Unit. And today, on this edition, we have brought to you a discussion concerning the NELFUND. NELFUND has been an issue. There are a whole lot of questions surrounding NELFUND. Students are asking, non-students are asking, staff are also asking. So today we brought to you Dr. Chisomaduka Okafor, a first-class student of COOU University of the Department of Linguistics and EWU. She graduated in 2012, and she's the one in charge of the NELFUND as long as this university is concerned. And today I am your conversationalist, Felix Joe Chebunkem. Let's meet you.
My name is Dr. Chisomaduka. I am the COOU NELFUND desk officer. So anything you want to ask about NELFUND, I am here to answer your question.
All right, some questions I'll be asking here will be from my own part or whatever. Then we'll get into what students used to ask, because I have a whole lot of questions students are asking concerning the NELFUND program and all. But can you just walk us through the step-by-step process of applying for NELFUND?
First of all, NELFUND is the Nigerian student loan designed by the federal government for Nigerian students who are in federal and state-owned universities. That means if you are in a private university, you cannot access NELFUND. Now, the process is, if you go on NELFUND portal, you first of all register on the portal. Mind you, registration and application are two different things. So you first of all, you register and NELFUND sends you a link to your email, and then you go to your email and you click on the link to activate your email. Then from activating it, you now apply. So that means we have students who register and those who don't apply. So if you register, please be advised that you still have to go and apply. So the application to NELFUND, or rather application to get access NELFUND, basically is just in 3 steps. You register, you go to your email and activate your email, the link, and then you do the proper application. That's all.
So do you think an average student can just go through this process? It's not difficult.
It's not too difficult. It's just something you can do with your phone. And maybe you may ask, what are the documents needed to apply?
The requirements.
Or rather the requirements. I know you'll be getting to that. So the requirements simply is just your admission letter. That's all. Now, admission letter for people who are still, rather students who are still coming into the university, or rather students who are just getting admitted. Maybe you just got admitted, and how do I now apply for NELFUND since I don't have a reg number? Now, if you are just getting admitted, all you need is your admission letter. Now, if you are a returning student, what I mean by returning student, you are in 2nd year, or you are in 3rd, you are going on to 3rd, or you are in 2nd year. Now, what you need is your admission letter and then your ID card, which is optional. So these are the 2 main things you need, but then the admission ID card is optional. But you need your admission letter.
All right. So why should a student apply for NELFUND?
For so many reasons. NELFUND has made education seamless. You really do not need to bother about school fee. You don't need to bother about your upkeep. So why you should apply is for you to get your tuition first. Because one of the major reasons students don't write the exams is tuition. So if you register, or rather if you apply, and you get your tuition, that should be all. And then added advantage, you get your upkeep, 20,000 naira upkeep every month.
That's much.
Every month you get 20,000. But maybe some students, for some reasons, best known to them, most of them go on to apply and don't apply for upkeep. or maybe they don't know. But I've had students who come to me and say they did not apply for upkeep and they are fine. So it depends on your need as a student. If you want the NELFUND application to go to your, or rather to apply for tuition, you go for tuition. If you want the two, you go for the tuition and the upkeep application.
All right. So in this NELFUND thing, postgraduates also allowed to apply?
No, it's just for undergrad.
Even part-time?
No.
So only undergraduate students. Okay, so can you just walk me through how these loans are being distributed?
Disbursement literally comes based on how many students who apply. So the processes, maybe the question may be, you may ask me, how do you now get people to disburse to, or how do you know that these students are our students? Fine, the NELFUND sends to us list of our students who apply. Now, our job is to verify that these students are bona fide students of the school. They are not expelled. They are not rusticated. They have not committed any crime. They are really bona fide students of the university. And then we take it back to NELFUND and tell them these students are our students. And then disbursement happens. So it is basically how many persons, they may send 5 students to us, assuming they send 5. And after checking, going through the list, and you find out one student is not our student, I can tell them we have 4 out of the 5, and then they will pay the 4. And if one of the persons, or rather one student finally, maybe we finally realize that the student is our student, we can still write to them and say, well, we were wrong the first time.
Okay.
This is also our student.
Okay, so Nigerians are not good with loans.
Yes.
Like, well, especially Igbos, when you hear about loans, they're already thinking a whole lot and all. So now, what is the repayment plan like? Because this is one question I know many people must be asking, and many people are scared of applying for this NELFUND thing.
Yes. The repayment plan is 2 years after NYSC, not 2 years after graduation. It is 2 years after NYS. Now the difference, or let's make it clearer. Maybe you graduated in 2010.
Okay.
You have not gone on for your NYS. You don't have to be paid until you go for your NYS. Now you may also ask, how am I sure I am going to get a job after NYS? Now after NYS, you don't have a job because NELFUND, the repayment is supposed to come from your job. Your employer is supposed to be taking it from your salary. Do you get? So that means you must have a job before you start paying. So after 2 years, post NYSC, you don't have a job. NELFUND says, write to us and tell us, I haven't gotten a job.
Wow.
And then you write to NELFUND and then you tell them I haven't gotten a job. So okay, after 3 months, you haven't gotten a job, you still write.
3 years.
3 months.
Okay.
Because your 2 years must have been relapsed. And then you still have not gotten a job. So after 3 months, post 2 years, you understand?
Yeah.
You still write, and then I've not gotten a job after that 3 months. You keep writing. Your duty is to remind them that you are still mindful of the fact that you have a loan to repay. Because if you keep quiet, it means you don't care anymore. But once you keep writing, it means you are mindful, you are aware that you have a responsibility of paying back the loan you got while studying.
So if I don't write them, if I don't keep writing, and how would they collect the money from me? Because I'm going to deal with my account now.
That means you have defaulted.
And the punishment is?
The punishment could be I wouldn't call it punishment. All right, I wouldn't call it punishment, but they have a duty. They may invoke the law on the students. All right, it may involve jail term.
Okay.
According to, depending on the outcome of the case, because it has to be charged to court, because there is a law for you to write to them and you have not written.
Okay.
So it depends on how long you kept quiet. Not really why you kept quiet, but how long you kept quiet. Because if you keep quiet, we know that something is wrong with you, but maybe you have not gotten the job. Your duty is to write to them. But if you don't write for that amount of time, maybe 6 months or 7 months, that means you have defaulted.
Okay. So in this university, like how many students have applied for this NELFUND and how many persons have gotten the money?
Okay, the first list we got for verification is about 262, has about 262 names on it. So, already 263. But while verifying, we found out that one of the students, his reg number did not tally with way, or rather the figures we have in that particular department. So the HOD told me that this student is not in our department. So at the end of the day, we had 262 names. That money for the 262 names has been disbursed. We got money for those students, but by the time that money came, those students have already paid their school fees.
Okay.
Now, school is on the verge of refunding them the money that NELFUND paid. Now, but we recently got about 517 names on December 31st for verification, and we have verified, and we are waiting for disbursement. So on the total we have 779 students who have applied.
So that means I'm correct to say that if you've paid for your school fees and NELFUND gives you money, the school would refund the school fees.
Yes.
This money that have been disbursed, the stipends, the upkeep money, is it also involved in it?
The upkeep money goes to the students' account.
To the account directly?
Yes.
Oh, that's
but the
great.
school gets the school fee.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. So people must have been asking you several questions, like what do you think are most of these critical questions that people have been asking you that need to clear the air on?
Yes, the most recent one is students keep asking, when are they going to pay? Because their exams are fast approaching. When are they going to pay? And the truth is, I really do not know when. But I've done my duty of reminding NELFUND that we verified on time. At least the 517 names I got, I verified it and sent it back on January 3rd. So we should be expecting, rather we should have our disbursement by now. But let us look at it this way. NELFUND has different calendar. Most schools are on their first, rather new session now, 2024-2025. But NELFUND is still in 2023-2024. They are actually trying to get, disburse for the remaining applications they got in 2023-2024. So the portal for the current session is inactive right now. So when we are getting the money, we are not sure, because we have about 300 and something universities plugged into the same source. So it's a case of verify your list fast and get your disbursement fast. So I verified and sent it on 3rd January. So I am hoping that we will get our disbursement for the 517 students very soon.
So you mean there is no particular timeline for them to pay?
There is none. That's just, unfortunately, there is none.
I have a question here from one student, and she says, "Good morning, Ma. Ma, please, why is it that I have not received my upkeep money and I have raised tickets in NELFUND website, but they haven't replied me?"
Well, upkeep, there are two things are involved there. It's either he or she put a wrong account number, because from the list I got, the 262 names I got, the account, most of them had 7 figures as account number, 6 or 9, as against 10. So I asked them then, I told them that time, if you know your account, send me your account number, let me check if it tallies with what you have on the paper. And most of them didn't send.
Oh.
Do you understand? So now it is a case of maybe you submitted a very wrong account number, and most times some of them think or thought that they applied for upkeep. At the end of the day, they didn't apply for it. So it's knowing if you actually applied. And then at this point, there is nothing the NELFUND desk office can do for you, because it involves paying your upkeep. So the only channel that can handle that, as she said, is the NELFUND ticketing services, whereby you raise a ticket and give them your complaint and they attend to it. That they have not attended to it is something I can actually remind them to do.
Okay. So we have another question here, and this person says, how are we going to know that the school fees has been paid, and is there any need for generation of remitter?
Individually, no. I discussed that with the boss the other day, and he said they are going to, the bursary unit is going to raise remitter for those students who got disbursement from NELFUND. So the only way they can know is if I tell them, if I tell them that money has been paid. Secondly, if school, or rather the bursary unit generates remitter on their behalf, and then it appears or reflects in their individual school portal, or rather school fee portal. That's the only way they can know. But first, I have to inform them that money has been paid.
Okay. So I forgot to ask you something before, and it's concerning this repayment plan and all.
Okay.
So I get a job and I earn like 200,000 naira monthly,
Okay.
and I tell them that okay, I've gotten a job and all. What is the percentage you'll be taking from my salary? Because I think this should be
The percentage, well, it depends on how much you took from NELFUND. Now, NELFUND application is every year. One application does not take you through the whole of your academic journey.
Okay.
Yes, it's every year. Once you get to second year, you apply. You get to third year, you apply. Final year, you apply. Now, it depends on how much you have taken. And then, I think they will also ask, by writing to them that, because when you get the job, you will inform them. All right? Like, I've gotten the job. That is where you'll be asked how they are going to spread it. Because the idea is not to, stretch your pocket. They will take a reasonable percentage that will still allow you to enjoy your salary. So until you graduate and you know how much you must have taken from them, because we don't have your particulars. All right? It is NELFUND that has your particulars as, somebody who took loan from them. So when it's time to tell them I have a job now, it is still them that will pull your record and tell you this is how much you actually. Student loan started from 1972
in Nigeria.
Yes, that was when we had the first student loan, and then through bureaucracy and all that, it didn't see the light of day for so long, and it died a natural death. Then came this NELFUND. So it's been there, and people who took as low as or as high as 1,000 naira then to study law. Can you imagine that? They are coming back to pay.
1,000. 1,000.
No, most of them paid. I think I heard about a son who paid about 3 million something.
That means the value increased.
Of course, 1,000 naira to study law then. So, but nobody pushed him to pay 1,000. It is just out of his own, goodwill. He paid because what he borrowed was 1,000 to study law. So it's been there. It's just that with time things got getting tougher, and again government suffered. This way, how do you now reclaim the loan, or how do you now get the money back? That was what killed that scheme then, or rather what made it die a natural death. But right now it is still here, and this NELFUND has put Nigeria in the map of countries that have student loan for their citizens. So it's been there. It's not like it's a new thing. So repayment plan, or rather the percentage to be taken, is dependent on how much you took, and then when you tell them I've gotten a job, now they can now spread it out for it not to stretch your pockets.
Okay, take me back on something right now. You said someone took 1,000 naira then, like in the 90s, and all to study law, and then paid 3 million.
Yes.
Okay, right now, if as a student, I take like altogether 2 million naira to study, and I'm to pay in the next 10 years.
Yes.
Would they look at the value of?
No, nobody's looking at any value.
So I'll still pay that same amount
you
that
still
I
pay. Yes, the amount you took. Nobody's looking at the value.
And is there any interest rate?
No, it's interest free.
Oh, wow, that's great.
There's no interest attached. If you took 1,000, all right. If you take 1,000 in the next 2 years, you pay 1,000.
1,000.
Yes, it's interest free.
That's massive.
Yeah, very massive.
So,
very massive.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's so lovely having you here and then speak about NELFUND, because personally I used to get a whole lot of messages.
Yeah.
Can I apply for this? Can I apply for that? And wait, please, does every university have a desk officer for this?
Well, some universities choose to call it another thing.
Okay, but there's someone in charge.
Yes, there's someone, because we have a WhatsApp group where all representatives from different universities are. You see some answering desk officer, you see some answering date. So it depends on what your university choose to call it.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, and our viewers and all. In case you have any other questions to ask concerning this, we don't mind bringing her back to this studio to explain more. So you can just on your comment section, you can just comment, ask the necessary questions, and we'll be there to answer. She will also be there to answer. We can also bring her back to the studio to answer some of these questions and all. Make sure you always follow us on our channels, on our Facebook, on our Twitter, on our LinkedIn, and also on our YouTube. It's nice having you once again. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nkemena Joshua Michael. I am a student of Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University in Anambra State, Nigeria. I am one of the beneficiaries of the recent NELFUND loan that has been open to a lot of students in Nigeria, and I must say that the loan, it has been pretty helpful to me based on the fact that you don't need to worry about the payment of your school fees, or even every single month you get a chance to get a stipend that you can be using to maintain yourself, because honestly life as a student is not really that easy for a lot of persons. So the NELFUND loan has been really helpful, and I advise every single one student out there. I don't know why a lot of people are afraid to get on it. So I really advise everyone to it's just to pick up a mobile phone, use the link and make the application, and you get your loan in less than just a few months. You get your loan disbursed into your account, and for the monthly allowance you also get it into your personal account. So I think that everyone should grab this opportunity right now. Thank you very much.